year 3 is going to be a big prove-it year for Dawson Knox. They drafted this guy for his athletic traits, his athletic ability. He played in a college that did not utilize the tight end position. He blew everyone away at the combine. They said, boy, in terms of physical traits, physical ability, he's, and again, this does not translate to stats. He's top 10 in terms of physically what he can do. He has not unlocked that yet. And he may be the biggest loser in not having an offseason this year because he didn't get to work with Josh. He didn't get to have that second offseason in this system and really get to work on his game and what he needed to do. But I think the traits are there. Now, should they go with him as tight end number 1? Absolutely not. No. Don't go into this season saying he is going to be the guy. Add someone that not only pushes him, but splits time with him, that can make him better. And you mentioned some of those guys on the market. I would love a Hunter Henry. I think Hunter Henry's the same way in terms of athletic ability, but he's obviously proven it more in the NFL. Injuries are an issue there, though. I think that they're going to go with either a veteran that has a few good years left, and maybe that's a Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz becomes available. I think that it's just a matter of time there in Philadelphia. And it wasn't that long ago that we talked about Zach Ertz as a top 3 tight end in this league. It might be a Kyle Rudolph, and this is not my Notre Dame bias speaking through. I think Kyle Rudolph. It is. I think Kyle Rudolph has a good 2 or 3 years left. He was in a system in Minnesota where, 1, they run the ball a lot, and who wouldn't with Dalvin Cook? Dalvin Cook's a special player. 2, they have 2 superstars at wide receiver, especially in Justin Jefferson, a promising rookie. But they also have Adam Thielen. And 3, they have a young tight end of their own that they're trying to bring along. So they started to phase him out a little bit to bring in Irv Smith. But he still ended up with 20-some receptions on 30-some targets. He was still a threat when they utilized him. He's already come out and said, I think I deserve every penny of my contract, pretty much saying, I'm not taking a pay cut. Either you're going to pay me my salary or you're going to let me go. And if they let him go, 1, I think that Stephon Diggs is going to go to Brendan Beane and say, listen, this guy is like me at tight end. He wants to win. He'll do whatever it takes. And 2, we've talked a lot about the cap situation this offseason. It's going to work both ways. It's going to be tough for teams to get under the cap. They're going to have some tough decisions to make. But it's also going to free up a lot of really talented players who are going to say, give me a 1-year deal where I can establish my value, and then when the cap goes up in 2022, I can make out either with this team or another team and get what's coming to me. So I think a Zach Ertz or a Kyle Rudolph would come to Buffalo for a chance to win a ring on a 1-year, $4 million deal, $5 million deal, somewhere in that price point where Buffalo can say, yeah, we can do this. We can make that work because there's only so much money that teams can spend out there. And you're either going to say, do I want to go to Jacksonville and New England where, Jacksonville is going to have Trevor Lawrence, but are they going to be a championship team in year 1? Absolutely not. And if I'm signing a 1-year deal, I don't want to go to a place and waste another year of my career where I can't win a ring. New England, who the heck knows what they're going to do at quarterback? Go to Buffalo. Go to these teams where you can actually make a run in this 1 year. And then there's even guys in that middle tier. And Dan Arnold in Arizona, where he hurt the Bills a few times in that game. He made some big catches. He was not a focal point of that offense. But I think that he's a guy that's 25. I think he's about 25, 26 years old. Maybe he's a little older. I'd have to go look. Where I think he had a career year this year. But if you bring him in to go alongside Dawson Knox, they could both benefit. So there are guys out there. I'm just not sure that they have the money to go crazy with a Hunter Henry or a Jonnu Smith. But I think you could bring in a veteran and convince them on a 1-year deal that you could compete for a ring this year, reestablish your value with Josh Allen, number 2 in MVP voting. You mentioned that already. And really then in 2022, they can get their money from Buffalo or somewhere else.
You know what, Ryan? You bring up a very strong point that's not discussed enough. So you take a team like Buffalo, because that's the team that we focus on, fans, I should say, focus on. And yeah, you might lose John Brown. You might lose you might lose a Mitch Morse. You might lose maybe a Quinton Jefferson. These are guys who could play, and the moves would be made because of cap reasons. Well, the Bills are one of several teams that are going to be facing these types of decisions, and you're 100% right. That's going to result in a lot of guys out there who get cut, and they're going to be looking for prove-it deals. So that's a great point. And another thing, and again, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just being a Bills fan for as long as I have. My mind's just not trained yet to have a free agent say, I want to go to Buffalo because I want a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl ring. I'm used to free agents saying to themselves, I want to go to Buffalo because they're going to pay me more than anyone else. Or I want to go to Buffalo because nobody else wants me. And it's either go to Buffalo or I'm not going to be playing in the NFL. But it's different now because now a quality player, like say an equivalent of John Brown, a receiver from another team who might get cut for the same reasons, and he's looking for a 1-year prove-it deal. You got an MVP caliber quarterback in Buffalo with Josh Allen. They're a good team, 13-3, a chance to win a ring. So that matters. That's motivation. That's a big advantage to have a selling point being that, hey, we're on the verge of being a Super Bowl team right now, and that's not talked about enough. So that's a great point, Ryan, for sure.